What up, guys? To episode 1 of the VOD review. I'm here with your boy HAON. Closer people know as Noah, like me. We're cool like that. Want to say anything, Noah?
Not really. Hopefully that this is interesting.
Yeah,
it goes well.
So let's start off. Match 1, Bank. Dream Catchers will be on attack first. Honor Among Thieves defense. Let's see what happened. I'm gonna skip forward. Hibana coming out. I guess that's a definite strong ban to force them to use Thermite only. So you have to, choose between hatches or wall on down below, especially
with Maverick coming out. Normally that means you get 2 hatches if you're more efficient with your canisters. Instead of Row Hibana, you get 3. But it definitely makes you choose more.
Yeah, and especially on the hatches, when you bring Hibana and Thermite, you get 3 hatches. The default 2, you could maybe, instead of getting one blue by servers, you get one by elevator or one by vault. I'm just gonna skip back there. Glass, definitely. I think. I mean, I wouldn't.
Feels more of a comfort ban.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Especially just thinking about not having to deal with them when you're on defense, and they're going in for a plant, not being able to peek in or throw a C4 unless you're behind the wall. So I'm actually very interested to see how many C4 operators they'll actually bring out for down below. I believe it was I think it was EG that brought out like three operators with C4s. It was like a Mira, Pulse, Bandit or something. I remember just seeing like C4s being chucked. Maestro, very strong ban, and a Mira ban. So they'll probably bring an Echo.
Mira ban's pretty common on this map. And then the Maestro's normally either you ban Maestro or Echo normally, So they chose to ban the Maestro.
I guess if they're really strong with if they have a really good player playing the IQ, that's especially very useful. So you yourself can bring the Echo, and you do know your players will be playing the IQ properly. So
also with the IQ, Valkyrie's played normally a good bit on Bank. So if you're already gonna bring the IQ, you might as well ban the Maestro and then stick the IQ for the Echo drones as well as the Valcams.
I mean, one thing I will note with the Maestro ban is, especially on the newest patch, I would rather ban the Echo instead of the Maestro with Twitch being available now to actually counter. But it could also be a comfort if they've played around with Echo a lot, and of course IQ being brought out. So seeing this lineup, Thatcher, Sledge, Maverick, definitely like you said, the Maverick, Thermite, IQ. I think the only thing that surprised me is the Sledge, I guess, and the Thatcher. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Thatcher is probably a solid pick, especially since you don't have the Cade ban. And if you end up using one Thatcher on the hatch, then when you go for the plant, you can also Thatcher the pulse scanner from vault, so there's a little less intel on you while planting. But I think Thatcher is probably a pretty solid pick on this.
Yeah, now that you brought up Cade, definitely a very I don't know why I seem to forget about him, but he is a very strong operator when it comes to hatches, and especially even on a wall, sometimes it's tricky to get rid of them. Sledge, usually I would think of Buck first if they're playing down below instead of a Sledge. Just the fact that you've got some range with the I wouldn't see Sledge being used much, since you can't really sledge any floors, but you're not bucking any floors as well, or above floors. But mostly when I'm just thinking about walls, you know, maybe getting some distance. I do like when a hatch is open above sight, a site. You can shoot open the wall, going into the red hallway, you know, going towards vault where Mira plays. So it's like that I like to open up so I can see if anyone tries to rotate through there. But sledge, we'll see what they'll do with them. But
I definitely feel like the sledge is more of a comfort pick for Prompted rather than a buck, because he's probably on a nade rule, so they told him pick a nade operator. Normally you're probably don't see Finka. So buck and sledge. I feel like sledge most viable on this map because you're doing like top down destruction, not very like bottom up.
Yeah.
So I feel like sledge
but that's where I would see like maybe sledge being used when it's like a known like tellers, or but even then it would be safer to take buck instead of a sledge if they, you know, they're not going down below, because at least if they're the top floor you can buck below. If they're, you know, tellers you can still buck. But I mean I would also see, you know, sledge definitely has a strong primary and secondary, and especially like me, if you're really, you know, used to the SMG, it's more, I would agree that it's a comfort. Looking at defense, it looks pretty simple. Pulse playing in vault, Echo since there's no Maverick, Cade hatches, Jaeger for smokes or any actual gadgets being thrown, and a smoke of course to deny plants.
Yeah, it looks like they would just stick the Jaeger in the server room. Echo is probably done being garage. Probably stick Pulse in server in the beginning and then fall back too. So seems like a pretty basic build so far.
Yeah. Definitely what I would like to see them have or use is maybe a late roam from main stairs, especially. You know, a lot of teams, as you can see the setup right now, Jaeger will be reinforcing the side walls on A, and it looks like they might actually be doing an upstairs hold, not top floor but mid floor, since they're actually reinforcing tellers.
Yeah, I mean I feel like they could also be doing that in case because sometimes you see teams open up that wall and hold the main stairs that way
for the flank.
Yeah, instead of like holding like it from open, I guess. So that gives them a better chance to rotate all the way up to main stairs to top floor, and possibly you saw them also open up the hatches, possibly shoot them through hatches as well. So that's interesting though.
Yeah, I would understand if they are playing the late roam, that they would like to have a better chance of successfully doing it. Coming out here, Benji IQ doing a default clear of blue, checking around for maybe a 6 pick onto Valk. That's being used.
They used a electrical on blue hatch.
Sorry, say that again.
Electric Claw, Cade's gadget on blue hatch.
Yeah.
So they're trying to hold blue heavy with that because they used a lot of utility.
Okay, yeah. They're definitely the Jaeger is playing in there. Is that wall soft? Did not see there. On A.
I'm not sure if I saw that.
I'm just gonna quickly skip back. Yeah, so interesting. I thought I saw him go to reinforce the wall, but I guess he did not. Maybe having a rotate there. I think he's just playing for his life, which is really weird. But
especially if this Maverick gets this hatch open before he's able to rotate, then he's just stuck there.
Oh, Pulse. Also down below. Oh no, he's in vault. My bad. Actually getting rid of that one device, it looks like. Giga device, ADS. I mean, I could see where this works if he gets a nice pick from
I feel
them.
like Prompted's gonna easily nade him out though. Yeah, you see Prompted pulling out the nade.
He has support from Echo, but that's not gonna do much with a nade. If
Yeah.
oh, there
especially,
he goes.
I
Just
was
like
able to
that.
scan out to see that there wasn't any ADSs there as well, so it was a freebie.
Yeah, definitely interesting play to have him play there, but not have a rotate through the wall that is not reinforced, and especially putting so much emphasis on blue. But they still have a chance. Plant goes down. Pulse is giving the information. Smoke is used to hold it off, but there's limited smokes. That's one used.
Definitely still one above though, because you have 2 Echo drones, a Nitro, and 2 smokes left.
I think he's gonna stick it. Oh, just in time.
I don't think that was.
Oh.
They gave up garage, which is interesting.
Yeah. The plant does go down. I think that Vaughn is. Oh, it's the Maverick. I guess he must have just gone the pickoff. Echo pushing out. Yeah, really interesting that I think they had an Echo playing near garage.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and seeing him rotate off from there, and then having them open that. But really good play from Vaughn, seeing that you know, the low time that they'll need someone to rotate somewhere, i.e. main stairs or garage, and it comes out on favor for Honor Among Thieves. Same pick from both sides. I'm hoping to see that they maybe play server a little bit differently, especially if they use a K device.
Also, I feel like that isn't very reliable, especially if you leave the Maverick on the bird, because even if you paid the hatch, they'll just Maverick it. So if their goal is to not have that hatch get opened, I feel that you needed to ban the Maverick then.
I also think it could be a one-time plan, because now think about it, they have the Thatcher. They can easily get rid of their Jaeger devices if they want to use a Thatcher for that, and he is basically dead. It just takes one nade. It looks like he is going to be playing the same position on Jaeger, same reinforcements. Not really happy to see that. You know, maybe they're giving it one last go, but sometimes you need to adapt to the circumstance, because I mean, they already kind of countered it. So
yeah, I feel like when you redo the same exact thing, if you lose a round because of maybe like, I don't know, positioning, and it wasn't actually like them countering you well, I can see you doing the same thing, trying again. But it looks like Hat just ran through that strat last time.
Definitely looking for that blue rotate while they try and take the hatch. Cade trying to Cade trick, but I think he missed. That's definitely a huge loss. I think he still threw the device just as he dropped. That's a big unfortunate play. Blue's open. I'm predicting the same thing will happen with one simple nade, and at that point, if they don't seem to have more of an emphasis on roaming, maybe trying to, you know, put pressure from up top.
Yeah. I feel like the only chance that he has is to peek prompted while he has his nade out. Yeah, he tried, but
yeah. 2 grenades. I mean, even though it's 2 used, that's what the grenades are for. You know, maybe trying to get a lucky throw on site, but it's gonna be used there. I can see that they're maybe putting more of an emphasis on making sure that garage doesn't get taken, but I don't know how effective it will be when there's still a minute left and they have to start using their smokes. That's already one down at a minute. It's gonna cost them a lot. Prompted getting a kill.
As well.
I think
already dead.
I think, was that garage or was he peeking from sight?
Not sure.
That's a second smoke right there. I think if he peeked, then that just means that Echo doesn't have any drones up, and if it was just a misplay, that's a big misplay. Plant going down again.
Last smoke with 30 seconds left. They can just first plant and they win the round at this point.
And smoke peaked. And Palm goes down. I think he just held it down. Thatcher trying to get a pick on Cade. Does that seem... Oh, there you go. Peeks him out. Now it's up to Pulse to try and clutch up in a 1v5 and gets taken down. I cannot emphasize how much that, you know, even having this happen to both of us, when all you do is run the same strat and kind of hope it goes differently, you're kind of putting yourself in a place where you're just opening yourself for failure unless you make, even if it's small changes, maybe the castle and Valkyrie that looks like they're bringing could be the... Oh no, they're going CEO. So instead of...
If they wanted to hold the blue, the Cade isn't giving them any help because they're just getting Thatchered. They could just bring the Ella shotgun, play Ella on like blue stairs, and they would hold that much more effectively.
Good pick onto Nomad off of Maverick, seeing that they've changed up their strat and maybe seeing that, you know, they're not looking to actually change down below that. Instead, they're changing the whole site. Really interesting to see that maybe they don't have a backup plan, or they don't want to take the risk of running a different strat for down below. But I mean, they still have a chance to bring this back, but it's not looking too good with how they're going at this. You know, with them bringing Castle and Valkyrie, you know, they have a lot of resource of information on the Echo and Valkyrie, and I just hope that maybe they can hold down areas better instead of, you know, like blue when they're trying to hold it down, that it just gets freely taken by simple gadgets.
Something that I found interesting is that Dream Chasers didn't use their 6-pick. So if they would have 6-picked to the castle from a smoke, that might have caused Honor Among Thieves to stick the
Maverick.
The Maverick, because the only thing that would have changed then would be the Velk. So it's interesting that they didn't use that.
Yeah, especially having to think ahead of those 6-picks. I mean, we've even talked about this, where mostly 6-picks are used on defense and not on attack for, you know, trying to bait them on something. And since they're not using it, it kind of signifies that they're not thinking about those things.
Yep.
Grenade coming out from Sludge gets an easy pick.
That's prompted its 3rd nade kill in 3 rounds.
And it's a simple grenade throw as well. Everyone knowing that even if you try an impact trick from there, it's also giving them the option to shoot back. And they're trying to get aggressive with Cade there, but just gets shut down by holding the angles. Prompted just laying waste to them.
Yeah, it looks like Dream Chasers just decided to get aggressive. Try to catch them off guard, didn't really work out for them.
It's really sad to see that, you know, they're even doing a simple defensive holds, and they're not trying to kind of change it up to the team of, you know, trying to adapt to their situation. Honor Among Thieves are just reading them like a book at this point and just doing simple attacks like throwing nades, having just gadgets like a Thatcher just ruin their plan.
Yeah, it looks like if they would have banned Thatcher instead of Hibana, their defenses would have been 100 times better, honestly.
Definitely. 6-pick, them, you know, I think the Capcan might have, I didn't see if they locked it in, but if they didn't lock it in, you know, unfortunate that they had to use the 6-pick there. But I think they did it on purpose, and just going to something like Cade, I don't know if they're trying to confuse them on what they're picking. But I don't know if it's gonna work, especially on open being in my opinion, a harder place to hold, even though there's bigger areas to having to clear. It's still pretty easy to clear off one side and go for a plant, like kitchen.
Yeah, I think after the first 3 rounds, they realized that they might just have to try to catch Hat off guard, and pulling out open is definitely one of those things that can do that to your team. But
yeah, no, I agree. It just I'd like to see them. I do understand that maybe trying to throw them off by going open. I think it wouldn't throw them off as much as maybe trying this another site but doing a completely different strat, because at this point, since they're already kind of knowing what to do with these clears, look at that Hat just going in, taking control of the closet, and them trying to clear up top, and gets the wall bang on the Valkyrie.
Into communication with that.
This is what I mean. They're just doing simple clears and playing as a team and just going through these default strats, because even though you're bringing a Cade and Echo and Valkyrie and you're doing simple reinforcements, it doesn't change the outcome unless you're
This is the first time that Dream Chasers have tried to roam off site. So I guess they try to mix that up, try not give them as much map control as soon, but that Valkyrie dying so fast really limited them on what they can do, because that pick on site.
Definitely going down so soon, and having her be the first pick, especially being Valkyrie, even though she throughout all our camps, it's still a big loss for the team. And it looks like Vigil's trying to flank of some kind, while Echo's trying to hold in tellers. I don't think the only thing I can see happening here is if the Echo gets a pick off of Honor Amongst Teams, Honor Among Thieves' team, and or the Vigil doing a flank. But with them holding so good, I don't think they're gonna be able to do so. So that's just walking right past Echo's line of sight and going down for the plant.
Interesting that Filthy didn't try to rotate to main stairs to help.
There comes the flank.
Filthy finally rotates to main stairs, gets 2 big kills, but plant is down.
Yep, and even though that was way closer than before with the Vigil flanking, it was still not strong enough to stop them from winning. And that's just one thing that just shows that if you're not used to doing things out of your comfort zone, like roaming or having other strats on your sites, you're just open to fall. Looks like they're going downstairs again, bringing the exact same loadout except for Valkyrie. Maybe this change, maybe they're gonna 6-pick to Cade, but it could be that they might want to try again with Valkyrie to roam.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're not bringing the Cade, because that wasn't working for them. So maybe they're gonna try to be a little bit more aggressive. Waste at least a little bit of time. I will say though, like, picking Valk here in this circumstance might not be the best, because they've brought the IQ every round. So I don't know how much utility they're gonna get out of those Valk camps.
They could be using it to get picks, and not maybe more of information on where they're at. So if they play it properly, it could come out in their favor. But just like you said, if all they're doing it for is information, the IQ at this point has done a great job in getting rid of those Echo drones. He or she's just gonna do the same thing with those Valk cams.
It looks like the same exact setup besides the Valk pick. So it would be interesting if the Valk decides to try to roam upstairs or hold a server with the Jaeger again.
Well, she's in server, and it doesn't, she could be still placing down her Valk cams, but if they're still just going to be holding out below. It's just too much control for them, especially on this team, being able to use whatever they have to their advantage, holding angles. It's just setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah. 30 seconds in, they already have top control. They know that they don't have any roamers. So now HAON's not even worried. Take one person on main stairs to cover flank, and they got everything.
I just want to emphasize the fact that they don't bring Jackal to clear out, you know, a map like this. It just shows that they're very confident in their drone clearing. That when they have top control, they know they have top control, and it's one
that was
thing.
A bad ADS placement.
I was just about to say, like, their placements are very sloppy. I don't know if they're trying to complete.
Jaeger did juggle ADS, so he kept one in his pocket and put it down once the first one got destroyed. So that was a good adjustment. But
that's a good adjustment, but especially with that first ADS just being destroyed so fast, it's you know, it makes me wonder if they're just simply copying other teams and not fully knowing their purpose, or just trying to use it. And Sledge getting very aggressive there, but gets refragged.
That was a good push.
Definitely. And I didn't see there if Sledge still had grenades, but
he had one left, but I don't think anybody. They go to the Thermite. I'm not sure if Thermite had flashers or not to clear the ADS.
Well, definitely him. I guess if you had to pick someone to die, you know, pick Sledge over anyone else when his utility's used. But it was definitely still a pick, but I don't think it will be a good enough pick for this team. It is 40 seconds, and they still have to kind of clear out the smoke grenades. Second smoke gets used.
30 seconds. Yeah, 2 smokes gone already.
And that,
got
wow.
An echo drone.
That's a big play. And that's a very nice read, knowing
they have
that
2 nitro cells though still left, so this is still winnable for the defense.
Definitely.
They need to start trying to stick it, even if he dies, just next man up. That's another nitro cell down though.
They're getting very, and I think they're actually gonna win this.
Yep.
Wow. I was going to say, with everything happening there, them knowing that they have to get aggressive with the time being so low, you know, it was very good with them having to stall some time, but they can definitely not rely on this. But very good job on Dream Chasers, trying to chase after their dreams on winning this game here. But you know, maybe it was the Valkyrie play that made this change, or the fact that they got a little bit sloppy with them having to trade out the Sledge for the Jaeger.
Yeah, I think the combination of the Jaeger being able to waste more time in server with the ADS struggle, with the combination of an extra nitro cell on the Velk instead of bringing the Cade, just gave them more utility to deny plant.
Definitely. I do think if they were able to have that Sledge up, he could have tried to grenade one of them when they went for the C4s, or when they got more aggressive, maybe the Sledge could have used his life to maybe try and get another pick. But let's see how this next game rolls out. They went open again. Interesting to see that, you know, maybe not using something like just default tellers or anything else. But again, they did not pick the Valk. Last time they had Valkyrie instead of the Cade, but I guess since the Valkyrie got picked off,
I think they switched it for the Mew. I think they 6-picked to the Cade last time.
Okay.
But yeah, either way, they don't have the Velk.
And that's a lot of information missing.
I guess they're bringing the Mew because of how well HAT has been droning them out and pinching.
Getting later on this setup there, maybe you just have a little bit too much to do. Valkyrie get lit up from Vigil.
Both trying to go for that early pick. Almost got a big one on the IQ.
You can see they're very desperate in trying to get these picks.
Yeah.
But that mute jammer just gets instantly destroyed. I don't think they're placing these mute jammers in actual, good place.
Already though, they've done a better job than the last time they've gone there. A minute in, and they haven't died yet, which is
That's very true. Mute almost gets pick on the sledge, but a good coordination through the drone hole. It's a little bit simple to take him out there. Don't know why. Sorry.
But even Filthy getting out of that alive, I mean, they dealt a lot of damage to 2 people. Filthy's able to rotate down. Hopefully he plays main stairs this time. I would say that's not exactly what you wanted from your roam, but it's good enough in this circumstance, or at least better than how it was going.
If I would have them holding up top, I would have thought they would maybe try and hold inside, conference more than trying to hold the janitor. So, you don't want to give them control on the hatch there by janitor or the floor, but I think if you have more of a control in sight, like conference, it's harder for them to push through there if you have line of sight. But do you have any take on that? What do you think is important about janitor?
I definitely feel that this setup is interesting in their positioning, but I feel like they are giving up map control for
Echo gets
them
a pick
to tunnel
there
into specific spots like that.
Yeah, I definitely did not see how Sledge got killed, but they're getting maybe a little bit too sloppy with them being too confident.
Yeah, I think the Vigil honestly gave them a lot of trouble this round, because even with a minute left, they were still looking and droning upstairs.
Echo gets another pick.
Yeah, winning that's just pure gun skill.
And well, I mean, even with them having these flaws in the beginning, they're still able to catch them off guard. Maybe is that what it seems? Just letting Echo play in the elevator and getting a free pick. Same with Sledge. I think he was peeking the floor and just got picked off. Maybe all Dream Chasers had to do is get a little bit more aggressive with how they're playing.
I think their roam definitely, although they didn't get the kill with the mute upstairs, definitely, even just the mute jammers, it was a good adjustment. But what you mentioned earlier, now Dream Chasers are bringing the Jackal, unlike Hat. So,
yes.
And a Monty.
And
so
a Monty.
Their roam clear should be pretty efficient.
Definitely, and maybe them not having the Jackal the previous rounds, maybe that cost them a little bit too much time when it came down to pushing. But I do believe Hat really had, the roam cleared down, and when it just came to the couple last rounds to executing, it just took them a little bit too long. We're switching sides now, already just starting up top, with Hat pulling out a very completely different operator line than Dream Chasers. Could show that they have maybe other things in mind, but especially Echo being quite default since there's no Maestro. You'll always want to bring a castle up top. Probably the Pulse will be playing below or trying to play more aggressive. And
it's interesting to me that they didn't bring a Thatcher though.
Yes.
And they're selecting to go Monty and Jackal.
Maybe they thought they're going down below.
Possibly.
But
I think it's gonna be tough getting those walls open since they have a mute. They don't have any nades, but they have 6 smokes or 4 smokes without bringing a glass. So that's, I don't know. I feel like operator selection here is kind of interesting for Dream Chasers.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dream Chasers were the ones that banned the glass.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. The only way for them to get those main walls open is to have the Maverick put his life on the line and try and get it open with them trying to hold out upstairs.
It does look like they're gonna take from main lobby, push through Trump. So I guess your Thermite is not as needed doing this than if you're taking from heaven, which is skylight side.
Now,
But
big emphasis on the pulse being able to drop and go for that flank, because that's the only thing I think will be very crucial with this sort of attack from Dream Chasers, would be a pulse dropping down below and trying to get a pick off of that.
yeah, as long as this Jaeger of Benji can hold this stairway, I feel like
Or gets a
It'll
pick.
be a good round for Hat right here. But Benji dies, so now, yeah.
Ooh,
As soon as
that.
they lose that,
Sorry.
Silver trades it out, but as soon as they lose that elevator position, it's looking a lot better for the Dream Chasers because they can push up into Trump. They almost have site control.
I think that they would have come up top. Hat, if it was not for Mew to look to the right, him having to know that the Jaeger was actually holding that angle, and then Jaeger actually dying from the main stairs.
Yeah, Prompted getting a kill though. So he's still able to play below with the Nitro Cell, so they still have a chance.
They're trying to use
That Nitro
Oh,
probably
But-
wasn't the play.
I think that was
Sacrificing the Echo
Unfortunate.
for the Monty.
I don't think it was a purposeful
Yeah,
C4. I didn't think he thought that his teammate would come so close to the Monty, but him also having to see that his teammate was pushing that. Only thing that can happen here is if Prompted can land his shots, take those 1v1s and not a 1v2. Pulling out a scanner just to get quick information on where the people's whereabouts. Drone being used to get information, and Thermite
tough to retake.
pick him off, especially if it's 1v2 and not having a rotate in the closet.
Yeah. I think that was a good take from Dream Chasers, knowing that they brought the Monty. Definitely probably a good take to go up through Spiral. As
Yeah.
well with Filthy getting that pick on Benji in the elevators.
Yeah, a lot of misplays I think is just happening. This is the only crucial thing for Hat when it comes to what's happening right now with them having these small misplays, like peeking into a line of sight that your teammate's holding and C4ing your own teammate by accident. But I do think if they just maybe I know they're doing a great job, you know, doing these starter ups and going through the rounds, but when it comes down to the time and when they have to execute and play, you know, these things like holding angles and playing positioning, they need to make sure that they execute it properly. I don't know if they're getting a little bit sloppy or too confident with them being up 4-1 at one point, that they need to realize that Dream Chasers still have an opportunity to take this as a win.
Interesting that they're selecting to go Vigil on a server room, so that means they're probably gonna try to stay alive as long as they can upstairs with a Vigil.
Almost coming
Although,
out. Sorry.
They're bringing a Jackal, so I don't know how effective that will be.
Well, I was gonna say they're bringing out almost the exact, same reinforcements, but their loadouts is a little bit different. Instead of a Pulse, they brought a Mute, and instead of a Cade, they brought the Vigil. And I think if they do very good work on the Vigil, it could come out really strong.
It looks like there's 2 people upstairs,
Yeah.
possibly?
I think it's the
Benji
Jaeger and the
and
Vigil.
Yeah.
And one pushing garage, and them I think they're freely ignoring. Oh, Echo trying to, he sees the drone, realizes that maybe garage ain't too safe right now.
It's interesting that they sent their Jackal garage, the person who can scan the roamers,
Yeah,
the one place where he's not going to be able to scan any of the roamers. I feel like that's terrible use of utility, especially with 2 members from Honor Among Thieves roaming.
and just maybe showing that they're not so refined as Hat, but Hat making maybe a little bit too many mistakes. Maybe that's the only way for them to win right now. Echo trying to win this 1v1,
Gauging that gunfight, it's a little risky.
but still, you know, wasting time, which is, I guess, crucial in this place to kind of keep the Jackal in a place like this and not have him roaming around.
Yeah.
Going for a risky play here by playing a very aggressive. I think if Echo could try and get one of his teammates come down here.
It's also worth to notice that both Prompted and Benji have wasted 2 minutes, and they were both able to rotate back to site.
And unhurt. 45 seconds. Monty's in sight, trying to put pressure. They still have Echo up. They have everyone up. And the utilities, I think they've only used one smoke so far.
Yeah, you got one nitro, I guess. Smoked and
plant going down, and there goes one more smoke. If the spectator goes to smoke, maybe we can see how many smoke he has left, but I do believe he still has 1 or 2 canisters.
15 seconds left. I think there's no,
C4 gets both picked. The IQ goes for the flank, almost gets 2, and they're just playing for time. Huge pick from IQ, but still too late, and unfortunately with that C4 taking both Monty and Thermite, there was not much to do there.
I think with the lineup selection that Dream Chasers are bringing, they shouldn't have even tried to push Garage, because you have a Monty, he can block off that angle from Garage, plant behind the Monty, and you're also using a lot of utility with the Jackal trying to take Garage. I feel like if they had different operators, then it would be more worth it for them. But your IQ has to go server to get the Echo drones. Your Monty has to go server, and your Thermite has to go server. So, and your Maverick's getting hatches.
One big thing, sorry to cut you off, to note there, a pick off of Echo onto Doc. I think they're trying to be more aggressive with what they're doing with their lineup. Alibi, Vigil, Doc. I think Hat is trying to catch maybe them off guard with what they were trying to do.
See if they play heavy upstairs with this lineup. Because you can see Billbird reinforcing the 2 walls in small closet. He'll probably castle off that entrance. Yeah, and then use 2 castles upstairs.
And especially if they're holding upstairs and, you know, Dream Chasers having to clear them off up top. Doc is able to shoot them off the rappel, so it's going to be very difficult for them to do so. And since he's not Echo, he can take those, you know, crazy angles and peaks. And that they're bringing the Alibi just shows that they are ready to play up top.
It'll be interesting to see if Dream Chasers try to take this from Heaven, Thermite open into CEO, or if they just try to push through the angles that they have set for them.
Big thing to note that they brought a Maverick out of this, you know, lineup. Them I know they lost down below, but like you said, they were kind of all over the place, and they're not being specific on where exactly they like to go.
Dream Chasers have a certain 5 operators that they want to bring, and they will bring them no matter what slate Honor Among Thieves go. Although you do see Affected switching to the Sophia instead of the Monty.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they can get this wall open and you know, maybe get a pick or 2. Doc gets picked off, but get not the refrag, but gets a kill. Vigil jumping out to get a crazy kill on Sophia. They're playing very aggressive, and it looks like it's playing in their favor, except Vigil gets picked off.
3v3, they still winnable.
Definitely. They don't have anyone up top, but it looks like the castle will be playing maybe the roam. the Alibi could maybe roam off to get the castle on site, since Alibi has impacts and a better gun in my opinion than Castle to get these kills. IQ being used to get rid of any devices. Them not having an echo should be easy for them to clear out. The only thing I'd see for them to do is, you know, they don't have I don't know if they use a thermite charge. You know, maybe they could use one thermite up top. Looks like they're gonna try and get the
Opening
hatch.
that hatch is interesting.
If they don't, sorry.
I'm not sure if IQ has managed to get. That's a big pick onto prompted. Wasn't sure if IQ was able to pick the mute jammer on the wall, but it looks like they split their push.
Looks like Vaughn being able to 1v2, and now it's a 2v1. Now a 1v1. Can Vaughn clutch up with the 1v3, and you do so. Vaughn very good on the SMG.
I think Dream Chaser splitting up that push was the wrong decision for them. I mean, you had main lobby control. You had a thermite left. You could and smokes. They only had one nitro. You can smoke. You can probably plant.
And thing of note,
sent 2 people backside and 1 person front side, especially after Filthy got that entry pick onto prompted. They had that site control.
Definitely, and to remember, I think Castle was playing in below janitor closet, and Mute was in the other site. If they took from main lobby, they could have easily went for the plant. And the fact that Thermite went to open the hatch and not maybe open up the floor, and then go get the wall at lobby, just shows that they're very uncoordinated.
Yeah.
Well, match point. It would be interesting to see how they would try and bring this back. You know, it was working for them to try and do these coordinated pushes in the beginning to get these picks, especially, you know, when Hat was doing these crazy plays like jumping out windows. But I think if they fully just try to play to their strengths and maybe not make these small mistakes like before up top, I think if Mute can hold that main stairs and Jaeger just hold the angle, I think they can easily win this.
I agree. And also you see Prompted going for a run out here. That's
very
risky.
Definitely not what I wanted to see from Hat's team. Maybe they're just trying to try whatever they want at this point. Maybe they know that you know, it's a free low, but definitely with them being able to take 3 rounds is definitely not over. But if they keep making these small mistakes, not saying the run out is a small mistake, but if they...
I wonder how much that run out had to do with one of the players from Honor Among Thieves being on camera early in other rounds and noticing only one person spawning in over there. And then Prompted going for that
pick
for the one person that spawns over there, but unlucky they had more people spawn over there this time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely, but I think with it being 6-3, you don't want to pull out these crazy things.
I agree.
Maybe, you know, it would make sense if Dream Chasers were trying to do that and trying to use whatever they had, but they're not on defense. Hat is, but they still have a chance to pull this through if they just stick to what they want to do. Especially if the Mute can hold this main stairs, since it looks like they have a thermite hold that angle. It doesn't look like they have any clear attacks except from skylight area. If they can try and hold the hallway, I think they can make a play by rotating down below with the Jaeger. And I just saw Castles down below. If he can rotate up, it could be a pick that they need. Thermite getting a pick.
On the roof.
Impact kill coming from Castle. Bomb down 3v3, 2 down below. Valkyrie and Castle, especially playing these roam games, it's giving them the advantage. Mute getting a kill with the pick. Bomb going down. It is now
Not
or never.
planning on desk. Not yet.
And that gets played out. I think the reason he wasn't planning on the desk was because they're pushing from up top and it might be a little bit too obvious, but they could definitely have someone playing down below. Good game from Hat.
I think Hat just was more organized.
Definitely. The only things I would say or tell them for improvement is maybe playing to their strengths and trying to, you know, smooth out those bumps with the misplays. That's the only thing I would say that cost them those 3 rounds was small mistakes like not holding certain angles or having them be caught off guard by not clearing things like where the echo was when they're playing open. But definitely very good game. I don't know like I said much about Dream Chasers, but I think if they put more time into getting more information on what they want to do as a team, they definitely could be better. Anything else to say?
Yeah, I think the main thing for Dream Chasers is the lack of, at least on attack, the lack of flexibility on operators, it seems like. And then on defense, it looks like they had certain sites that they had practice in a certain strat for each of those sites that they expected to work, and then when it didn't work, it took them 2 rounds for each site for them to make an adjustment really and to win. So, but
at the end, 7-3 for a Hat. Very good game. A lot of kills across the board. But yeah, very good game. And yeah.